I love you, Wavy.
Wavy.
I blame it on Wavy.
But yeah, so we finally made the switch from StreamYard, from Be Live to StreamYard. Kind of like Joe Budden making the switch out of Spotify. Like,
Tell me about this.
So, all right. So this is how this works.
So all I know is that Joe Budden said, Joe Rogan goes, "Hey, I'm going to Spotify, $100 million," and then Joe Budden a couple months later goes, "Hey, I'm out. Spotify, I'm out."
So I think the issue. So Spotify has a deal on the table for Joe. For Joe Budden. That's what Joe Budden was saying. They do have a deal on the table, and he was like, "It's more money than we've ever seen." All right. He was like, being a rapper.
Definitely more money than he's seen as a rapper.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, I hear an echo, bro.
So I know, right? Because why be professional? I can't hear you. I can just read your lips at this point. So, all right. So Joe Budden basically does a deal with Spotify. Does a deal with Spotify at the beginning 2 years ago. And when he does this deal with Spotify, Spotify gives him a good amount of money. They test the market out with him, right? Him, Amy Schumer. He does it. He's like, I didn't think Amy Schumer should be on this because at the end of the day, Amy Schumer's a big time celebrity. I'm just Joe Budden who just I'm just Joe Budden who does you know what I'm saying, podcasting right now or whatever. Because I think a lot of people didn't forget, like Joe Budden did go away from everything. He really went strict podcasting, but then he just got big on podcasting again and then moved on to other stuff too.
Yeah, because if you heard his last album,
signs the deal with Spotify. Proves the market. Spotify comes back, buys Gimlet. Proves the market. He's still number one. Spotify then comes back and buys Podcast. Fucking still in the market, still number one. Spotify then goes to Bill Simmons from ESPN, fucking gives him like $200 million over the course of some years and gives him the rank of running Spotify podcast. Like,
Woo!
Yeah. So Joe Budden is like, yo, like we were the testers at this point. Like we're the kingmakers. We're the ones that showed you the podcasting way. So we're expecting a bag. Like he's like, they didn't give us a bonus. They kept trying to tell us to do this. They told us to do that. They wouldn't let us get vacation. Boom. So we're expecting, all right, y'all just gave out all these $250 million deals. We expecting a bag out here. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, there is a deal on the table that's more money than I've ever seen. But everybody's starting to realize how potent podcasting actually is. You get what I'm saying? Like how much money there is in podcasting because it's such low overhead. Look at us. Our podcast costs us. No, I'm just saying. Our podcast costs us less than $100 a month to run, right? But we can put it anywhere.
And we could actually lower it if we wanted to. Like
right.
We could literally lower the cost to pennies a month.
So at the end of the day, so Joe Budden's basically like, who's the kingmaker? Who's the kingmaker? The person who built the kingdom or the people that run the kingdom? He believes he's the kingmaker. So he's like, all right, outside is asking me questions. I'm gonna go check what outside wants to give me. But he can't do it until he's out of the Spotify deal. So the Spotify deal is still sitting on the table, but until the deal is up, September 23rd or something like that, he really can't say where he's going. So, boom. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to try to fix this. Mike, go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Give your opinion.
Yeah. I think, you always have to test free agency. Loyalty is cool, but not when this life is short. Not when we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? Like, I think when you can prove that you are the kingmaker and you can prove it by making yourself the king, always bet on yourself, people. I think if you are not getting the right due that you think you should be getting, you should definitely go your own way now, especially with podcasting, with comedy, with a lot of content creation. If you think that you can get better going somewhere else, go somewhere else. If you think you can make a king, fucking make your own kingdom. That I am so proud of him. I think that's a tough decision. But you do see it, especially in comedy, where like Russell Peters had the first Netflix special. He had the first couple Netflix specials, and they gave him money, undisclosed amount of money, but what he says is that it's nowhere near the Chris Rock or the Amy Schumer money. It's nowhere near the Dave Chappelle money. And he was the first one to prove, like, he stormed that beachhead. He was the first one to go streaming online, I guess. I mean, there's interviews where he's just like, yeah, okay, so when can I sell it on DVD? Like, that's how long ago it was. And they were like, yeah, there is no DVD. It's streaming only. And I think that's the problem with being the head of the spear. Nobody appreciates the head of the spear. Everyone needs it. Everyone needs somebody to storm that beachhead, that Normandy. Somebody's got to do it. And I think, for me, that is a beachhead that I would want to storm. Right? You go, you do it, you get somewhere, you plant your flag, and then you leave. Like, you don't stay on that beachhead. And that's kind of the problem with the way we think. We're like, well, since I've been here, since I helped build this, I think that I'm due something, and I think that I should stay here. It's like, no, somebody else out there somewhere will pay you more and will appreciate you more, will give you what you want because they don't have you. When somebody has you, they're going to give you what they've been giving you. And I think that's kind of the problem. And I think, with Joe Rogan, when I'm thinking about business in general, it's like, I have a YouTube page and it's monetized, but I do a lot of not monetizable video. I do a lot of content that I can't make money off of. Like, I do music reactions, right? And the reason why I do it, I don't do it for the YouTube money. I do it for the notoriety, the sales, the ticket sales, the merch sales, the traffic. Like, you get into a game, you got to figure out what you consider winning. You get into a game and you go, okay, this is what my picture of winning is. It might be making $1 million in YouTube money. It might be making $1 million in selling affiliate sales. Promo code Lloyd, ZipRecruiter.